Fellas, I get it now. I've been reading not just one, but two novels about the Thousand Sons, and I have to say my mind has changed only a little bit. Let me elaborate on that, but first let me introduce myself. My name is Connor, and that ends with 40K. Connor 40K to be exact, and ladies and gentlemen, but mostly gentlemen because I know my analytics. Today I'd like to talk about something that's not even really near and dear to my heart. It's actually so far removed from my heart that you can find it down the street begging for somewhere to live. Unfortunately, I'm a World Eater fan and I will deny the Thousand Sons any sort of W, if we will. They will not get a W on this channel. Never. This is the closest they will ever get a documented W on the channel. So let's talk about that. So I've been going through the heresy and I've just stumbled upon A Thousand Sons. And I've started reading it and I said, I just don't like the Thousand Sons. Oh my God. Every time they talk, it's like the worst person you know ever coming up to you and going, well, actually, and it's just so bothersome to slog through. But as we keep going through the standard 30K story where, Traitor Legion that is sort of loyalist now at the beginning. You get like some filler story about who they are, some Legion history, and it's very establishing stuff. But I'm a sucker for that. That's what I like, the subtle world building stuff where we get to see Legion culture, how they interact with each other, right as the heresy is starting and it's unknown, and then Horus is just literally starting to act against the Emperor. Cool stuff, and I do like that, regardless of the Legion, regardless of whether or not I like them or not. I still can appreciate it and respect it. So that being said, we stumble upon the Thousand Sons, and they're on some backwater world investigating some compliance stuff. Ahriman's there, and there's a Remembrancer there. And spoiler alert, I'm a huge fan of Remembrancers. I really wish they were still sort of almost a thing in 40K. I get why they're not, but I just love them as characters. I think they're so cool being included to sort of forcefully humanize Space Marines and be like, what you guys are doing is awful and disgusting, but I'm going to record it anyway because it's super cool and chatty. But that being aside, you get to see them interact with normal people, and you get to see them, sort of interact in this superior way, but it's more almost endearing, I would say. It's very like, they don't know any better, I'm going to show them the way. But then it's followed up by whether they, asked me to or not. So it's very interesting stuff to see that they're on this planet, and this planet has, evil spirits with evil demon shit from the warp, and that's occurring, and you get to see Ahriman sort of astral project and navigate the great ocean that is the warp. And I really like how they call it the great ocean, because that's pretty accurate considering if you read anything about chaos and the warp. It's just so vast and unexplainable and different to every person who views it. I think I like that terminology. I think more people should just be calling it the ocean. Like, bro, we got to jump. We have to super mega jump through the ocean right now. There might be some critters coming aboard the ship right now. This could be violent. Anyway, again, another aside there. But it's been really interesting because, again, I'm not a big fan of the Thousand Sons because, again, I do like magic users in any setting. I think it's really cool. But with the Thousand Sons especially, it's more of an attitude thing where it's just like they're all diminished by dust. Everything they do is going to be the same no matter what. Every time Ahriman makes progress, it's, 2 steps forward, 20,000 steps back. And for me, it's not really very appealing to me. And I don't like how the characters are portrayed, i.e., again, what I said earlier, like literally a minute ago, I'm superior and I'm going to help educate everybody. I know better than literally the smartest people in this setting, and I'm going to show you how smart I am. It doesn't really hit with me, but in these books, and I say books because I also am almost done reading Ahriman, the Omnibus by John French. Pretty good book. There's some parts that are super slow, but then it picks up when, again, and I'm actually going to say what I was about to say, but Thousand Sons has been pretty good in the fact that it sort of molds the classic Thousand Son attitude of, but then kind of making it almost endearing because they, for the most part in the Harris 30K, whatever, before everything goes evil, devil, Knievel, they do honestly seem to be earnest in most of their pursuits of knowledge and for the betterment of things, but they just have a smug, superior way about it, which, again, the way it's being portrayed is now endearing. Obviously, I'm not done with it, but that could change things. I could come back to this video in a couple weeks and be like, wow, I was super wrong. But for now, I'm saying my opinion's changed only a little bit. I like them only a little bit. You know, they're moving down from the street into the driveway of my house. I'm appreciating them only a little bit more, but the minute I get angry, they're in the way of me leaving for work in the morning. They're getting run over by my car. They will return to dust as they've always been. But, Thousand Suns aside, those are my thoughts and feelings on it, so I get it. Now, I'd like to move on to Ahriman the Omnibus. See, I had every couple of chapters, I lose interest, and then it's like a bad movie that wraps all the way around to being good again. There's parts of this that are very slog to get through. They're very it's monotonous, it's boring, it's very dialogue heavy, which can be like, Connor, you're reading a book, it's all going to be dialogue heavy. Relax, nerd. I get that. But I'm just, in the sense that it's dialogue heavy and that it feels like at points these characters are talking just to take up space on the page, which sometimes can be funny, interesting, some lore tidbits. Other times it's like me writing an essay and I'm trying to say the word "the" in 20 different ways so I can meet a word requirement. You get what I'm saying? It's not that. It's some parts of this are like that, but then other parts you get to see magic, craziness. It's insane and it's good, and I would recommend it to people if you are looking to get into the Thousand Suns, or maybe just Ahriman's really cool chatting and you think, oh, super cool space guy. I like that. You should probably read this, but it's good because again, it kind of blends in that classical Thousand Sun attitude, but now applied to the 40K current set. Well, not current setting. This is not current setting book, but 40K now. Mainstay universe type stuff is what I'm going to try to explain to you. I know the words don't really sound eloquent or placed well, but that's what I'm trying to express to you. So the attitude's still there, the smugness, the still thinking you're the smartest guy in the room and you can change your, piss poor circumstances. And it's still kind of endearing in a way, even though in this book, Ahriman is the worst. Make no mistake, he's a cool, chatty guy until you read the next two sentences every time he's focused in the chapter, and he's probably the worst person ever. Make no mistake, that's why he's entertaining. He is vehemently evil. He is literally just the worst person, which is why it's so fun to read about him. And again, the attitude of, oh, I can do this better, I can solve everything. And he doesn't. He makes everything worse all the time. And it's so funny when the play on that is when he's using his, warp abilities for anything other than himself, he's super nerfed. He's literally the worst. He will get, grenades will have a huge effect on him, any sort of blaster, any sort of weapon, melta, it's all gonna, and obviously it's gonna affect anybody with a direct hit. Even you got plot armor, there's still gotta be some damage. But the point is, he's no better than almost a guardsman, I would say. I know I'm being like a little hyperbolic, but he's just fodder. But when he uses it for himself, again, going against the grain, constantly scheming for himself now, and balancing that dichotomy of I'm always right, but now it doesn't matter who I'm affecting or whatnot, then it gets really interesting and really fun. And he's literally like me playing modded Skyrim. I'm nigh unstoppable. The only thing that could stop me is the PlayStation crashing. And that's only going to stop me temporarily. I'm coming back. So, that's basically my thoughts. And the fact that I'm slowly warming over. This is a long way of saying, yes, I'm slowly warming over to the fact that I like these old dusty nerds. I'm getting there. I'm appreciating them more, maybe is the more appropriate term. They're cool and interesting, but only for this video, only for today, because my opinions can change. So what I'm trying to say is very cool, very happy with them right now. At 9:26 seconds and minutes, I'm happy with them right now. But that's it. There could be a change, there could not be a change. But anyway, guys, I know it's been a while. I'm going to be posting a lot more. I have to get back on my Warhammer grind. So thank you for sticking with it, and I will see you very soon. Oh, also, please don't forget to subscribe. I get a little dopamine hit every time the numbers go up, and I would appreciate it if you like, the dude bro Warhammer stuff. I like it. So I hope you like it. So thank you, and I will see you later.